Gaming Today presents Cash Considerations.
Welcome to the Cash Considerations podcast. Today is Tuesday, January 28th, and we are here. Go ahead, Mo. Laugh.
No, it's him. It's him. He's
Like
doing
two little
it.
kids. We're back in the studio. First time for a while that we've all been back together in the same room.
I feel like I've been dodging you guys.
Yeah, I know. We feel like it too.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Let's welcome in the boys. That is for everyone new to the show. That is Mo Pearson at Heed These Takes. What's up, Mo?
Man, I'm actually glad to be back. I've been missing you guys.
Makes one of us.
See, this is a bunch of bullshit already right out the gate.
And on the other mic there, that is Alan Berg at Percent Berg. What's up, AB?
Just trying to stay awake. So we'll see how things go. I might go down at some point.
Are you doing any more shows today, or is this?
I hope not.
Yeah, okay.
I hope this is the last
Yeah,
one I
this-
do today.
this is
Maybe
beautiful.
ever. I don't know. We'll
Of
see.
all time.
Behind the mic, we have Reynolds. I am Reynolds 2305 in the beanie, producing the show, making sure we're keeping it together best we can. I am Big Dave Sherapan at Sportsbook Consigliere, SportsBK Consig on Twitter. The show is at GT Cash Consider on Twitter. Follow the show, share the show, rate the show, review the show. Normally every week for, I think, 20 weeks in a row, pretty much, we had a guest
Yep.
interview. We're going to bypass the guest interview this week. It's Super Bowl week, but, we can't not talk about it. It's the, most dominant, pertinent, tragic story in the news today. Kobe going down in the helicopter, gone. All the families on there, gone. His daughter with him. And, it touched everybody differently. And for you guys listening, we've talked about stuff for, months now together, years for us. We talk about life all the time. Our texts are great. Twitter has allowed us to share it with the world. And that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to kind of talk about where it's at. Where you're at, where you were when it happened, because it's probably something I'm never going to forget, where I was and how it was reported and everything. So, I'll just start it off. It's a big deal, obviously, and it's a bigger deal because his daughter was with him. And, I don't know if that's, not right to say, but I know for me that's it means it's that much, it hurts that much more because you guys have heard me talk about like coaching my kids, and I've been lucky enough to be Kobe my whole dad life. I've been with these kids. I chose a route to allow me to have the time with the kids that a lot of people don't get, and I cherish it every day. Very, very, very lucky. And, we're going to get, while we're talking here, I'm a big mush now. I talk about it all the time. I cry. But I tell people I love you all the time. I tell people I care about you all the time. So, sometimes people need a reminder that we're, going and going and going, and, the bullshit in life is just that, and you got to ignore it. I'm lucky enough that I've tried to live my life smelling the roses along the way. And, you guys know me, and, for the listeners that we've brought to the show, I think you know that. And if you don't, welcome. But I know, I'll start with you, AB. That hit me in a place that I've never been hit before.
Yeah, I'll be first to say, I was always not really a Kobe fan per se. I'd always tease Matoya about him all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, as a dad like you, like the first thought I had was, man, I hope his daughters weren't on the plane,
Right.
or the helicopter. And I was just like, so when that happened, that took the story to a whole nother level for me. Cause like, you know, we always say, you know, I think if you're the type of parent that I think most people want to be, you'd die tomorrow for your kid. And so to have to like experience that is just like, wow, that's just so sad. And, you know, I mean, what do you say about it other than, you know, it's tragic. It's, to me, it's one of the like biggest sports stories I think ever. I mean, you know, in the room, we were just kind of like, wait, this really happened? Like, you know, this is insane. Like, how could this happen? And, you know, but besides that, I mean, he was a great basketball player. We all know that. But it really seemed like he had embraced that father role really well. And, you know, he just always seemed like that was the most important thing to him. So that's the thing I grew to respect about him, especially after he was done playing. He seemed to make that like his number one priority. And, yeah, I mean, it was tough, man, you know, but shows you how life is. You know, you just don't know what tomorrow is or what's going to happen. But what I would say is that, you know, the guy lived 41 years and he did more in that period of time than most people will do in 100. And
Right.
his legacy and all these things that, you know, are now hitting social media and going out everywhere. I mean, it just lets you know, like, you know, anybody has the ability to impact other people's lives. And, you know, when you're famous, you have that like exponentially. And that's why people have reacted the way they have to him dying. And, you know, just, I think the biggest thing is, you know, just try to be good to everybody and try to like understand people and, you know, just live the best life you can.
Absolutely. Well said. It's amazing to me how many people, how many lives he touched. I mean, I just saw Jimmy Fallon tell a story. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
So
It's really good.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good. He told a story in his opener about being at a party in L.A. He was 21, Kobe was 18, and they didn't really know anyone. They kind of befriended each other. Who are you? I play basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a stand-up comic. I'm trying to, you know, okay. They ran out of beer. Kobe says, I'll go get it. He can't even buy it. Jimmy, you got to come. You got to go buy it. And the story, if you haven't found it on Twitter, it's so touching. And he's like, you know, and he ended it with, you know, when we meet again, we'll go on another beer run.
Nice.
And it was like really just classic, just well done, just storytelling.
Mm.
And I can't believe how many people have a story, have a
Yeah.
Kobe story. I mean, you know, I didn't know him, but I know even my kids, like every day when we have practice and we pick up the balls, the kids throw the balls in and they yell, Kobe, Kobe.
Right.
They don't even know what it means, but they
Yeah.
know that that's Kobe. Like, and they never saw him play. But did you think it was okay to show the last game last night on ESPN?
I don't know. I mean, I think
Was-
it's a cool moment. It might have been a little soon, is what it kind of
Yeah.
felt like. But I think maybe there's people out there that, you know, that needed that.
Needed
That
to
just
see it.
kind of, you know, like really like, just I don't know, re-enjoying the memory of everything,
Right.
kind of thing. Because I think in the end, that's what it is just the memories of things. But you know, for me, like comedy, like is everything when it comes to like tragedy or things that are happening that are bad or whatever. That's like all you have. And like my favorite one I saw on Twitter that cracked me up was like, you know, Kobe just went and slapped the shit out of David Stern for canceling that CP3 trade. I was like, that's good stuff. You know, like that. I mean, to me, like that's all we can do, man. You just
That's it.
laugh
Oh, man.
and just try to enjoy everything. You know.
Yeah, you got to find it like somewhere like that. I'm 49. I got to see Kobe's. I covered his high school All-American game in Pittsburgh. It was a freelance gig. I sat between Gus Johnson and Bill Rafferty and was a segment producer. Handed them cards between breaks, and I got to see him play live first time, along with like Richard Hamilton, Mike Bibby. There were like 8, Jermaine O'Neal. It was unbelievable. And I remember watching these
That's a
kids go.
decent group of players.
It was incredible. 1996 McDonald's high school All-American game in the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh. Look at the rosters. It's crazy. But I remember thinking, because nobody went from high school to the NBA, and they were talking about him being the one. And I remember going, wow, is that really possible? So I've seen his entire career as a grown-up. And now that the career is over, but then like you said, he embraced that role being a dad and has all girls. I mean, it's so many parallels just like that. So I get it. And I see him saw him at the games and talking and all this stuff. And it's me and my daughter. So like, it really fucked me up. It's still fucked up over it, to be perfectly honest. I am. I think about it all the time. Like my wife and I were making dinner last night. We're watching things on TV, crying. And the kids are like, "Why are you crying still?" And I'm like, I can't explain it to you. You'll understand someday.
Yeah.
And, so what are you, 40? You're 39?
39.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll be 40 this year. So you get it. I'm going to bring you into this now, Mo, because, you're younger than us, 28, but Kobe, you've talked about Kobe on the show. Kobe was your guy.
Yeah.
Right? Where are you right now with all this? Where were you last night?
I was in a bad place.
But you were shooting hoops or something, right?
Or no, well, my mind is messed up because the overnight schedule. But yeah,
Right,
no,
no.
2 days ago I was in a bad place.
Okay.
A few of my friends that I grew up with, guys I've known since like middle school and in high school, obviously. There was like a park that we would always play at, like it's on the east side of where I stay at, and one of my buddies was like, "Hey, we should hold something for Kobe," just obviously out of respect, but it was just, I think it was a combination of like we haven't seen each other in a while, and it's obviously a big deal to for us, for one of our heroes that passed away, and we played a lot of basketball, so yeah, we met up and they had a pretty good candlelight vigil with a bunch of pictures of Gigi and Kobe, and it was nice to see. I guess just talking to them and like picking everybody's brain on how they felt about the situation, and yeah, at least being on the court for me at that time is it was almost appalling because I didn't want to embarrass my man up top. But
don't worry, he's used to it, man.
Yeah, of course. Of course, he's seen me. But yeah, I think I woke up and I still felt pretty cruddy about the situation, and the night before, the day it happened, I was a complete wreck. Alan actually hit me up and was like, "Hey, I hope you're sitting down," and I already seen it like a minute prior, but I didn't think it was real until he texted me after, and I'm like, I don't know if it can't be, you know what I mean? It's to see it in, in pictures and stuff like that. And then, obviously the news telecasters kind of picking up on it. It was bad. I think that yesterday was, not to mourn, but to, at least think about, all the things that he's done for me growing up. I reminisce a lot about it the day it happened, and I cried. I drank a lot. I was actually getting ready to go to that UNLV game, which I ended up going to, and it was you could see people in the stands were having a hard time, kind of going through it, and yeah, it was tough, and I told you about that story about my dad taking me to that game in '97, that preseason Wizards game, with my family.
Tell us.
Yeah, so it was like, I was growing up, and obviously my dad was big into sports, and the Lakers played the Wizards. The Wizards had like Chris Webber at the time. Ben Wallace was on the team. I don't know if Rod Strickland was there, but yeah, the Lakers. Nick Van Exel, my guy, Eldon Campbell, Eddie Jones, guys like that.
Right.
Shaq was on the team, and he took us out. He was like, "Hey, this is the Lakers. This is like, they're big in our family," and it was an insane game. I was a kid when I was watching it, but I remember it being like a big spectacle. It was a great game, and Kobe had that facial on Ben Wallace. I think it's like his greatest dunk ever, and it was at the Thomas and Mack. He had like a crazy crossover at the top of the key. He jumped like he flew from the dotted line and just slammed it right over him. And I think as a kid, I just remembered that like just the crowd kind of blowing up, and
it was probably the biggest event you went to ever up to that point in your life.
Yeah,
right?
I
didn't. With family and everything, it was a big deal.
So I like just Kobe being involved with that, and then just kind of my love for sports now. It all kind of accumulated. So seeing a play like that, and then kind of just following the Lakers and Kobe for his career was like a big deal. So it wasn't just somebody that I tried to emulate like on a basketball court, but he helped me like love sports the way that I do, you know. So I don't know. I was pretty shook up over it, man. It was a rough day, you know, thinking about all that stuff. But you know, it's arguing about who's better at a Kobe and LeBron and Jordan and just kind of, you know, because I was a kid, you know. So when we're growing up and seeing all this stuff and like guys like T-Mac who were incredible, and you know, obviously Vince Carter was, you know, a big deal. Alan knows that. What's going on? Yeah, I mean, those are the things I thought of, I think, throughout the day, Sunday when it happened. You know, Gianna, who was obviously a part of his legacy, who we would have loved to see play for the Aces at some point.
Right.
You know, go to college and grow up and be like, you know, the person that her dad was, you know, a fierce competitor. You know, it's even more rough. And then, you know, the girls that were on the team with her, I mean, all of it was just so tragic because it was so abrupt. And, you know, it was kind of hard to think about Sunday. You know, I watched a lot of Kobe Bryant videos last night, and I mean, just like from a motivational standpoint, I don't think it's good to be sad. You know, I mean, it's good to mourn still, but I don't know. I feel like we should be pressing more for somebody like that. You know,
right.
You know, he'd want something like that. So, you know, that's just kind of how I felt about it. Yeah.
Yep. I don't know, you know, where to go from here. Like as far as us talking about it, I mean, it's healthy to talk about. And I think, you know, I mean, we kind of traded texts a little bit, and the shock of it all wore off. Like I was at work, and it wore off quick because I saw it first. I announced it to the other guys in the room, and everybody was like, it can't be. It has to be fake. It can't be. You know, no, it is. And it's real right now. Like, and it was so fluid. And now that we have time to reflect, I can't stop thinking about, you know, the families left behind and what, you know, how they rebuild and how they deal with it. And, you know, and on a very lesser scale, obviously there's not even a single ounce of comparison for us, but as you relate it to your life, you know, and we'll do if anyone has take a minute, we'll do that as we transition later. And we will get to the Super Bowl stuff for you guys who are listening and, you know, are waiting to hear our Super Bowl takes and show and props. We're going to get to that stuff. But I don't know, is there anything else you want to just talk about or address right now while we have, you know, the time, as far as anything you're feeling, anything you want to reach out to anybody? I mean, we do have a lot of listeners now. We have a lot of things that, you know, is there anything else to say about Kobe or about the situation? You have anything else? I mean, I wanted to give us each a little bit of the floor. HB, you're in the room. Do you have anything you, this is Howard Barish, the editor, came in today, managing editor, just walked in the room. What's up?
Hey, good morning.
You walked into a very, you know, tough conversation.
Yeah, it's somber. It is. I'm still numb.
Yeah.
You know, saw this guy come in when I was in my mid-20s, so I was even more enthralled with sports and impressionable. You know, as we get older, we get more cynical about a lot of things. But I got to try to make this sound right, and forgive me if it doesn't. But I have two teenage sons, 18 and 16, who are devout sports fans. And an incident like this should never happen. It shouldn't. It's just wrong on so many levels, and it shouldn't be so horrible to not only the families, but everyone that feels and has sensitivity. But it was interesting to observe my sons and how they took to this, because as young people, they really haven't, thank goodness, have had much adversity in their lives. You know, my wife and I have provided a very good home and life for them. And to watch them react and have them see me shed tears was a learning experience. And we shouldn't be taught from these type of things, catastrophes. But and I hope nobody takes this wrong, but they sometimes in life, we as humans need to see adversity to understand that it's not all one big joyous trip.
100%. Guaranteed.
And again, not that these things should happen to give us lessons. I don't mean it from that perspective. So, and there's so much more I can say, but it's I think everybody understands how we feel.
Okay. Anything else that you can think of that you want to add? I mean, I don't even know. I'm going to say my little thing to take a minute, just real quick, but I got nothing else. I got nothing. I wanted to say it.
I don't know. I mean, as far as like getting my point across, I mean, if anybody has somebody that is like a big deal in their life, they should just cherish it as much as they can. Like,
right.
And I think it's almost cliche to say at this point because, if they're not saying it on social media right now, if someone's telling someone, within their family, but I think it's true. I mean, something like this, which is obviously cataclysmic, it's a big deal. I mean, not just heroes or icons, but your dad or your mom or your brother, sister, anything of that sort. But yeah, I mean, it's like none of it's good, but like to be motivated to like not just tell people you love them, but to show like kind of just the motivation like on an everyday basis. Like, I don't know, you got to be on it, and I feel like it's not like just like myself should be knowing that. I feel like you'd have to tell people that too. So I don't know.
I can also recommend that if you are looking at videos and reading about this, to dig into some of the other folks' background. The Athletic unlocked a story on John Altobelli, the baseball coach, and it's long form because that's how they write, but it's fascinating almost as much as Kobe's as far as what he did with his life. So, obviously, there's the person that came into our living room for 20 years, but there are the other folks too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Agreed.
Anything?
Nope.
All right. So in true Mamba fashion, you gotta trudge on. You gotta keep going, and I mean that's what we're gonna do. So there's no smooth transition. There's no easy way, but we're gonna talk about the Super Bowl, and we're gonna do what we do. I mean, we're gonna get into it a little bit with some back and forth. Some props, hopefully, we'll have.
From a media perspective, because you're starting to see this out there on Twitter, how much of a step back does the game take, given the timing of all of this and
That's
the importance of the game?
That's a good question, and actually, that's how I was going to transition it.
I'm sorry.
No,
you're
that's
good.
fine.
You're
No,
fine.
no,
John, I didn't know you had a
that's-
script.
No. There's no script. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That this story, as tragic as it is overpowered everything, including the Super Bowl. And I was saying before the show, we were kind of just going around, and it was leading that way anyway. Like the first week was it just not as much. I don't know why. It doesn't feel as big as it has in the past, and now for sure it doesn't. And hopefully we'll turn the corner. I mean, tomorrow will be Wednesday. We're recording on Tuesday, and the game will hopefully come around to being what we're talking about. But that's what we're going to talk about right now. Just for Reynolds' sake and everyone else's sake, I'm going to do a quick read about the Gaming Today subscription. The digital Gaming Today subscription is only $5 a month right now. That is through Sunday, right?
Correct.
Okay. You get award-winning content analysis, stats, picks, casino industry news, and more. A Dawn Best feed with real-time lines and scores from 6 Vegas sportsbooks, links to casino deals and sportsbook app signups. You even get the Gaming Today newspaper in digital form. Just go to gamingtoday.com/register. All right. Wow. Super Bowl week. This is the week. The game is Sunday. Today is Tuesday. The line is still 1. The total, you guys at 55 over there at Caesars?
Yeah, as of yesterday, we
As
weren't.
of yesterday, you were not. CG, we're 54.5.
We're still there as well.
Circus 54.5. Pretty much 54.5. There's 55s all over town.
What do our friends at the Superbook have?
They are
Sorry for the
54 and a half.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think the story, and, I'll throw it to you first, Mo. The side is not the story. The total is the story, at least on the game.
100%. Well, I mean, are we talking about just how
Betting
lopsided?
wise, yeah, it's so lopsided. I mean, with us, it's like 90%.
I don't remember the last time we took an under bet.
Not even joking. Like, that's for
I feel
real.
like I looked at it, and maybe it was like 2 days ago. I don't know, like an actual bet, not
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, not $50
Correct.
or $20 or I mean, like a bet for a dime or more. There hasn't been one in days.
I mean, it's either been obviously like Niners money line or, people laying Chiefs
Or right.
laying one,
Yeah.
So it's not really. I mean, is that the same going on at
You seeing
Caesars?
Pretty
Similar?
much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a little bit of under money, but yeah, it's. I think I want to say we went to 54 and a half early to just see.
See what the ceiling was
Yeah,
like.
and
Yeah.
we caught a couple bets there, and then
Same with
it
us.
just disappeared, and then I think we ended up going back actually, and then just letting the money go and just gradually moving up again. So,
Yeah.
We got there and stayed there
yeah.
because we took a couple under bets, but then said, we're going to need more. Let's leave it. And still have, and now it's continuing to pile on the over.
Are any of you seeing suitcases come in yet, or is that usually later in the week?
We haven't taken any major wagers yet.
It's usually later in the week.
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
fly into town.
Right.
Yeah.
Wall Street
So
boys.
that's why, like,
Yeah.
when
When
they're
get that
asking
cash
me,
wired in real quick.
That's right.
I'll be there.
Chase Bank,
Yeah. Like,
when it-
J.P. Morgan brokerage account.
just leave the suitcase by the door. I'll be there. I'll
um,
grab it.
when I've been talking to people though, like they've been asking me, well, what are you guys going to need on the side? I'm like, I have no idea. It's basically almost a pick
Yeah.
as far as the money. There's plenty of support for both teams, but it's going to come down to if the 4 suitcase guys come in on one side, then that's the side we're going to,
Are there concrete 4 suitcase guys, or is that just a hypothetical?
That's a hypothetical.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But
I thought
I'm
maybe
just
there were
saying-
4 you could identify.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
No, I mean, sometimes it's like a sports player, sometimes it's a casino player. It really, sometimes it's completely random, and it's just a guy who just showed up for the first time ever. So,
So we used to have a restaurant in the MGM Grand in the sports book, and that was my career before this. And some guy hit a $3 million jackpot in the high limit slots, whale of a player. And he came over and took $1.5 million of it and bet the game.
Oh, of course.
I mean, it was
wow.
like house money,
you're up.
that's right.
Let's go.
Yeah, free roll.
Yeah. That's the one you get the call and you're like,
Where'd he get it
what?
from?
Yeah.
Oh, he just came from there. Absolutely, send it through.
Right.
yeah.
It was like one of those Wheel of
It's
Fortune.
fine.
Yeah, there you
It's-
go.
And it was on
Yeah.
the Patriots against Seattle when that crazy play
Interception.
happened.
Oh,
Yes.
incredible.
Yeah.
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 Oh, it's that guy's weekend.
1 in a million.
Oh, yeah,
play.
yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like hitting the slot, he caught that interception.
Incredible.
And then the call on Monday or Tuesday is like, well, wait, how do we lose? Wait, you gave a guy what?
Yeah.
He hit a jackpot and came over and bet the game.
We thought you guys wanted the money back. That was the idea anyway.
Right?
He fucking double dipped us.
Yeah, we were looking to get half back.
Uh,
Just gave it all away.
the conversations the day after are always
Oh, sure.
wonderful when they go a certain way.
Did they call the slot host and yell at them too?
You should have asked if they seen. Did you watch the game? Like, did you see what happened? Imagine telling that to somebody
Oh,
up
I
top.
thought maybe
like,
they called the
be
slot
out of
host and said,
control.
"How did that machine pay him that much?"
Oh man.
Send it to Pete Carroll. Tell him he's on the hook for it.
Right.
Oh, that's insane.
True story.
So the props, I don't know. I mean, we've had a bunch of inquiries. How much are you taking on the game? And we told the story last week. And if you guys, can go back and listen, we told our Super Bowl stories. You told a great one about the guy wanting to pay with a credit card. I mean, I'm going to do a little thing at the end where for a lot of new places, we got a lot of people listening to the show all over the country, all over the world, that are going to be in a sportsbook for the first time, working and betting. And you got to pay with cash. You can't pay with a credit card unless you go get an app and sign up, whatever you can do it that way. Some states allow it. In Vegas, you still got to use cash. But we've had calls. Are you taking $1 million on the game? Yes. Okay, I'll get back to you. There's a lot of
Yeah.
looky-loos, a lot of
Yeah.
inquiries. What are you taking? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
So come on. This
How
is
much you got with you right now?
Yeah.
You can have whatever you got on you,
Right.
but you can wire in some money. You can bring a suitcase, whatever
Sure.
you need. Just let us run the counter, and we'll make sure it's all there.
We'll check back in with you.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna just
you
start
guys-
doing that.
You
Just
guys,
walking up like, you guys take a meal on this?
yeah,
All right, I'll be back.
yeah.
I'm coming back for
We
it.
need
Come back for
video.
everything.
I guarantee you there is someone doing that.
Oh, I know it.
already,
I
for
guarantee
sure.
it. It has to be
And
done.
the backstory of where they pick up the money and that how that all goes down is much more interesting than their bet.
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, for however that happens, it's fine. But just to go there and just to say it, because I think people do that. Like,
Oh, they do it.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't even. It could just be like, what are you guys taking on the Eastern Conference Finals? Like, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you're not thinking about anything, my man. Like, that's not right. What
mean,
you're doing.
Is a briefcase handed off at the McCarran Airport garage?
There's like,
I'd love to know.
I feel like it leaves like 4 different hands.
I know personally. There's people that have picked up and dropped off at convenience stores. There's people that picked up and dropped off at Marie Callender's.
You get a pie?
In between getting a pie. I'm not joking. I know firsthand. I'm not saying
How do you cut
I
up the
know.
pie?
I feel like there's got to be a movie involved. Like,
You can't imagine. You wouldn't believe it. The stories that I've been told and know firsthand. I got to get with Carp and write the book.
I'm
because
telling you.
Nobody would believe it, but it's true. And this happens in the book all the time.
yeah.
Come up and, inquire, want to know, and you tell them, and they'll always be back. So I think this could be a segment. We get hidden video. We get Mo going to a couple books and asking, do you take $1 million on the game? Or, what do you take on the NBA Finals?
I gotta go pick up the briefcase.
Right,
Yeah,
and a
I'll be right back.
and
And a Slurpee.
There is no ETA or anything.
Did I take
Like,
your line?
It's all right.
I'm gonna figure it. I'm
I
gonna
take your
figure
lines?
it out. That's incredible,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The props, I'm not going to lie. I mean, who put them up first? William Hill and South Point put them up first. They got a little bit ahead of Westgate. And then Westgate, I got the packet here. I got a couple different ones. I got South Point's. Chris did a great job over there with theirs. William Hill went pretty deep. But the guys at the Westgate, I mean, between Jeff and Ed and those guys, I mean, they do an unbelievable job. And I'm the first one to say it. It's a lot of goddamn work. And they got a lot of business right away. After that, though, the props have been kind of like,
Yeah.
I agree. It feels like it's been a little.
It's jumped the shark.
Well, once the sharps bet it, it's done.
It's done.
Over. It's over. No one else bets it.
That's exactly
I mean,
the story.
The groups of guys that come for the
I
weekend.
mean, they
fart around.
They
yeah.
bet 4 tickets for $20 each.
Right.
And then meanwhile, we have $11,000 on one side. So there you go. Like, there's no. It's already over. There's a few tickets that are going to be out there, and that's it.
And
that's all it is.
That's the real story
Yeah.
of these things now. And
Lay 150, take plus 55. Lay 170, take plus 90. Hey, this is great. Hey,
it's
free money. Thank
and you're laughing, Mo, but that's the truth. Like, and how do we explain that to anyone, like our bosses or what? Like,
But
Yeah,
the
this
world's
is-
listening to you right now and saying, "Geez, these guys are so cynical."
no,
No,
this
I mean,
is
that's
truth.
reality.
No,
That's
I
it.
know,
Yeah.
but everyone wants to like have this high five fun that this is so tremendous and
Oh, it's
We're-
fun. Don't get me wrong. It's fun, but from the book standpoint, I mean, they took all the business, and it's all that sharp business. And now, like, I mean, we're sitting around. Where's the bet? The most bet on prop, 100%. Coin flip. That's it.
Coin flip, first touchdown.
Every
That's it.
time. And then
Yeah.
right behind it is the MVP.
MVP. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I
Because-
think we've been getting the most action on.
See, this is the thing, right? Like, this is the closest thing we have to at one point being a retail store. There's just all this stuff everywhere that you can buy, and no one's buying any of it. That's essentially what it is. There's like 27 different T-shirts you can buy, but you're gonna take one.
Yeah.
Well,
And
all the
that's all it
edge has
is.
been taken out. Is that what you're saying by the
No,
sharps? That
because
it's just
the public doesn't care about edges. They just want to bet something that they
Correct.
think they can
Yeah.
win.
right and sit
I mean,
in
they
a
don't
living
even know the
room or
price.
be amongst friends and
Right,
say,
but that's my
"I knew
point.
it," and
They
that's
bet the
part of my
game.
take a minute segment.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
They have they
Yeah.
have $200, $400, $700, whatever. They bet $500 on the game, and then they bet 2 props for $100 each. And
Sounds
they're done.
about right.
And
Yeah.
they're done. That's
Yeah.
it. And usually the 100 they're betting is, safety 5-1. Cool. That pays $500, so I'm going to bet that. Like, it's never like, oh, you know, that was minus 340. It was minus 360. So that's a good play. Like they don't bet that stuff.
I also
they don't understand it, I guess. I mean, for the most part.
that's
well,
part of it.
Yeah. It's like, obviously, it's the duty of, like, the people that work there to explain it, but there's 40 million people, you know, like, we're trying to get people in and out. It's just weird how it works, but, yeah, I mean, it's hard to get action on a lot of this stuff.
I commend the Superbook, too, because they make the unveiling of the props an event. The press shows up and the sharps show up, and now it becomes a media event. Good or bad, I don't, you know, as far as for business, and do they expose themselves a little more than they should? I don't know. I'm just saying, as far as getting attention and unveiling it, it's at night, and all these folks show up, and it's an event.
I honestly think it's a big deal. I mean, like, just in, like, our community.
Yeah.
You know, for something like that to be on, like, brand. Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah. So I have no problem with that at all.
No question.
Yeah.
It is. It's gotten more media. They get all the initial business, but you're right. Nobody cares about Mostert's rushing yards. Like,
Yeah.
I do.
You know, I mean, you do.
I
but
do.
in the scheme of things, betting it, you know, like you come and you bet $20 on. I mean, the first Super Bowl I came to as a visitor, I came for the San Francisco.
Chargers?
Yes.
Nice.
Blowout.
Yeah.
Yes. And I made every fucking mistake that you could possibly make
Incredible.
coming to the window.
You can't, like,
I
intro that
can't-
any better than how that just worked. That was incredible.
I didn't
that was
have
great.
a fucking number. I didn't have a fuck. I must have asked that poor guy at the fucking Harrows 100 questions. He wanted to kill me.
Yeah.
I came back and bet 28 props
Okay.
for $20 a piece.
You did have the cash, yeah. Right.
I did have cash.
All right, that's
I'm
good
all
enough.
cash
Yeah,
guy. I
Then
always
you
have
didn't make
cash.
that many mistakes.
Nope.
That's the
I
biggest
flipped through the sheets one by one and fucking made. I must have
found
tied up the
them.
window
Yeah.
for 18 minutes.
Do you remember that total was like almost 60?
Oh,
in
it
the
was
game?
insane.
And Al Michaels did the subliminal thing because it came down to the end, and it did go over. But it was a blowout at that point, and he said, a lot of people are on the edge of their couch now.
Yeah, of
That was
course.
the first time that I remember the reference.
That was 95?
Yes.
came
94 season.
Yes,
Yeah,
95.
yeah,
95. Well, the Steelers were going to make it, so we made plans.
They were never
They
gonna-
were playing the
What's this?
Chargers
What's happening
to
right
come
now?
to the Super Bowl.
What the hell's happening right now?
Yes.
What?
The Steelers were going to make it. They were hosting
They
the
were in the
AFC
AFC
Championship.
Championship.
Thanks, Dan Humphries.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, Stan.
No, no,
Charger,
no.
The Chargers were at the Steelers.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about
Stan
something
Humphries
else.
in the snow.
Yeah.
I was
So
thinking about Jim Harbaugh and the Colts.
we made plans to come out. That was a different one.
Right, okay, yeah, because I was like, I don't know
No,
if that's
no.
real what you're
No,
saying.
No.
I mean,
But
no, you were
it's-
6 and 7 years old. Enough.
I mean, I get it though. I can read. Shit. I've seen it.
I
Yeah.
made all the bets, and
Elmo.
we did the Vegas thing. I fucking slept through the game. I missed the fucking game.
You went the Matoi route.
I did.
Yeah.
You were
Yes,
Elmo.
yes,
Hey,
yes.
that
Get
was-
it? I
yes.
took a nap.
I can't blame you. I'm sitting here right now telling you I can't blame you.
So then I come down with this fucking stack of tickets.
Can you
and
check
say,
these?
Can you check
Oh
these?
man.
I made every mistake.
Yeah.
Every
Rookie.
single one. Every single mistake.
Wait,
you could
what
possibly
were you
make.
doing? Like, what were you doing prior?
I was up the whole night.
Getting
Oh yeah,
after
yeah,
it.
yeah,
between
yeah, yeah.
shooting
All right, all
craps
right. Yeah, my
and,
bad.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
everything else. that
Okay,
we
I
were
like.
doing.
Then you're okay.
Yeah.
I feel
Palomino?
that.
Missed the whole game. Had to see the highlights. I was. How old was I? What'd you say?
I said Palomino.
Oh no.
Oh.
No.
That was
It
on Fremont
it was-
Street.
It was a gambling trip,
Oh.
but it was a drinking trip.
I like
as
it.
well.
I like all of it.
Everything you're doing now.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
mid-
I'm
you know,
in it.
that's
I'm
usually
in
in the bag of
This
tricks.
this is in the midst of it. Yeah.
yeah. But I don't know. I got some props circled.
Wait, did you play the game or did you just play props?
No, I played the game.
Did you lay the big number?
I would have laid 200.
Nice. So-
I was so
Yeah.
pissed off.
He
with
was
the
bitter.
Chargers.
It was a
I
bitter
didn't
bet.
give
Yeah,
a
this is good.
fuck what the line was. He told me. Well, I don't even remember what
It was a bitter beer
It's not
bet.
enough.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
I was fucking. I came angry.
the bitter beer
The whole
Super
time.
Bowl bet.
Yeah, I was like, the Chargers are in the fucking Super Bowl. The Niners are going to kill this team. And I remember I bet every prop Niners over Rice, Taylor, everything.
All of it.
Just yeah,
Yeah, everything.
Who was
I
that
can't-
running back?
Everything. Roger Craig?
No.
No,
Kid from
uh,
Notre
Waters.
Dame. Thank you.
Yeah,
Ricky Water.
everything.
God damn it.
Everything over
Notre Dame,
Niners.
right?
Yeah.
None of them are better than Frank Gore, so it doesn't matter. I don't really care who it is. Yeah, it definitely wasn't Roger Craig. My bad. Yeah, definitely.
That was the 80s.
My bad. Yeah, that
Yeah.
definitely wasn't Craig.
That was against Marino,
Yeah.
Stanford Stadium.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Keep reading.
I think I'm just reading it wrong. I can't read.
Google.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Have you looked at the props like to bet anything yet?
I'm pretty conservative with
Yeah.
it. When I'm looking at something like this, I mean, obviously with the work we're doing at Caesars, I have to like make a lot of these numbers, and so that's fun.
Oh man,
there's a few. I actually wrote.
Did I say cynic?
Huh?
Did I say
That was
cynic?
great.
before?
Dude, it's brutal.
no,
man.
he's
You don't
like looking into
understand.
the abyss.
You don't
Like he's not
understand.
even staring at anything while he's saying these words.
Like you could have the best number in the world, and you're just getting a pile on your side because your number's a little different than someone else's.
That's
like
about
It's
right.
just
You just said
that's
$11,000.
about
You
right.
said there's no money.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Make
I
up your
said,
mind.
No, I said the sharps bet it. They're coming for it the second it's lit up. I remember when we turned on the first prop, we had a bet in 30 seconds.
Yep.
On the app, it was incredible.
Yep.
I'm like, how does this guy even know that this
you're
is
on.
on yet? Like he's just scanning through. Like this is unreal, but.
It's
He's got
a bot.
bots. Yeah,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
took the word. Bots are
Yeah.
coming in hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's got to be done.
anyway, yeah. I mean, I look for little things. I was always a big fan of betting shortest touchdown under 1.5 yards. That's a big one.
You know we're gonna bet it again, right?
Oh, we got to.
I was
have
looking
to.
at it at 6 a.m. Like
talk-
Alan's gonna be like
You
we're gonna.
talk about
I'm doing it.
You talk about a no choice move.
I guarantee it. Man, last year Gronk was right there.
Oh,
Do you
I
remember?
know,
Holy
man.
shit!
Oh.
I've never been so crushed. And obviously they run it in from the
Yeah,
two. Like
yeah, the two.
You can't. There's nothing else.
just
He doesn't get
unreal.
stopped or any of that
Only
shit.
touchdown in the game. and
Oh,
it's
that
from
was
the
that
two.
was it.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Brutal.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
real.
And then the Seahawks one, of course, absolutely horrendous.
Yeah,
at the
pain.
1 yard line.
Never really think how fucked up 1 yard can be until you're
Until
in the position.
you're holding a ticket on it and under 1.5.
I like to tell people
the
that.
craziest thing is I would love telling that story because everybody thought I had the Seahawks.
Oh
And I'm like, no.
No.
I'm like, I just needed a 1 yard touchdown.
yeah. Everybody
I don't
just
care
get.
who it was.
Everybody get
I
away
didn't
from
give
me.
a
care who it
shit.
was. I
Everybody
just
get the
need
hell
one.
away from me.
Oh man.
Such
But yeah,
a great. that's
everybody
pretty
bets
good.
that prop over. All the public guys that put a 20 or 40
Yeah.
or 50 on it, they always bet over. It's usually a really good percentage prop under. You get a good price because of all the couple tickets that are on it. But
I mean, it's adjusted pretty well. Like it's the favorite usually. I
the
mean,
under is
Yeah, right.
exactly.
The under. Is
So
like-
that's why they bet it because it's plus money.
Yeah, they can't believe it. They're like, no, there's no way.
Yeah.
And they're at the
So
one.
you mean
immediately.
2 yards and up?
How many
Yeah.
yards are
Wait.
there on a field?
No, I must not be understanding this. So I'm getting plus money, and it's 2 yards and up. All right, yeah, let me get that for 50.
Yeah.
Repeat.
The
Give me it again.
stories
I want it
you
again.
hear you hear that
I
at
want
the
it again.
counter. Wait a second. I only need every touchdown has to be 2 yards or more. That's so easy. Why? How do you guys come up with this?
Yeah.
Give it to me. You hear that all the time
Yeah.
with these props.
Till the PI on the goal line.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, that's
yeah,
like a
right,
I mean,
yeah.
Well,
they
that's
don't take,
another one,
They
yeah.
don't take account of that because
Yeah.
they're just
Right.
so locked in on like any plays like to be scored. Yeah, PI
No, wait,
like you're
2
done.
yards to 99 is what you're saying.
That's what I mean. Like, how many yards is there on the field?
Like
Like,
it's
there's
100 yards, right?
Like, yeah.
I'm not missing
One
something,
is
right?
obviously
Yeah.
the difference.
This is
in
not an
the
algebraic
prop.
equation.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
can
very
there be
simple.
a 1.5 yard touchdown?
Oh yeah.
Push.
Oh,
no. It's either 1 or 2, man. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Let me get that over bet.
The plus money on the over is the best part of the whole thing.
Exactly.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like it's unreal.
Well,
Really.
that's the one thing too that, like, for listeners, it's okay to lay a price.
Yeah.
With these props.
yeah.
It's majority time.
Right.
Those are the ones that come in.
That's
we have this prop that they made this year called the Octopus. I don't know if you guys have
Can't
heard
be
of this.
real.
No.
Yeah. So
real.
what it is
Not
a
real.
player has to score a touchdown, and then has to score the 2-point conversion. So 8 points.
Oh, sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
The yes is $12. That is horrendous price. Horrendous.
Yeah, what do
minus 3,000 on no. It's probably like
The greatest
the
bet of all
highest
time.
chalk bet ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That bet's
'Cause
at
it's-
arm's length.
It's happened. Oh, it's happened. I think they said 11 times all season. So think
Wait.
of all the touchdowns that are scored.
Wait, so it has happened. I don't even remember it happening.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, again, it's 11 times all season out of all the touchdowns. that have
All
been
the
Yeah,
scored.
yeah,
games,
yeah.
all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
touchdowns.
I just
So-
yeah, it's
11
crazy.
times.
It's absolutely crazy.
But no one wants to lay 3,000. So there you go. But
But you should be laying $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean,
basically,
essentially.
And if you're taking 12 to 1, then
Numbers-wise,
you're
like,
also
that's a
almost an
lot.
idiot.
Yeah.
For 12 to 1, it's not even worth it, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in that.
But that's the only way they'll bet.
But it's
that.
fun. It's a
It's
fun,
fun.
prop, and so they're going to bet.
yeah.
Yes.
Wait, who thought of
exactly.
this? Is this real? Like,
It came. I don't know. Someone told Jeff about it, and then it became a thing, and so it is.
Jeff should own that.
yeah, octopus.
Oh, that's
props.
nice. He gives
I
attribution.
don't even know if he's really into things like that. I'll just say that.
He doesn't like octopus.
I'm gonna
I was going
promote
to
it.
say, calamari's good.
Calamari is good.
No, I'm pretty sure he's
That's
a big
squid.
fan of calamari.
Yeah.
I think just props in general.
Oh. Well, that's the other thing that this business has done to us. I mean, I used to be
great.
a fan of props and playing them and stuff. Now, I'm just trying to make sure we don't get annihilated to the props. And like like you talked about last week, somebody's hopping around from property to property, zinging it for 200, zinging it for 200, zinging
Yeah.
it for 200, and you're off a couple days, and you go in and you're just scanning through, and you're like, wait a second, how do we need this thing for 8,000 already?
But what could someone know? Like, I don't understand where are the edges?
Over 73.5, under 77.5. Land 74, you win everything.
Okay, there those.
That's
okay.
what that's what it
they're
is. It's all
doing.
prices.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
so it's playing both ends. Okay, it's
Oh.
not
That's
anything
the
to do with an
business.
individual.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Or I mean, they could be
Yeah.
scalping, either middling or
Exactly.
scalping.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
it's one or the other.
Yeah.
That's all it
And-
is, man.
And how many places have parlayable props? The
I
set of
think the Westgate is the only
That's-
one that I know
Will-
of that
Will-
has
Will
that
Hill doesn't
page.
do?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Circa. I'm surprised doesn't.
They might have a card.
There's a
like
card,
parlay
yeah.
Oh yeah.
card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they had something over the counter. I mean, that wasn't. I don't
they
think so. I doubt it.
They
Maybe.
do. But they're the generic ones.
Yeah,
and
they're
their
like
line are
coin
low. and-
toss.
Yeah. They're all
Yeah.
coin
Team
flip
versus
props.
the opening
total
kickoff.
punts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
stuff like that. Total
yeah.
field goals.
It's not really a ton of stuff you're going to have a lot of advantage
So no
on.
skill, just a sheer luck.
Most of
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple on the parlay card or page or whatever that, you're getting a good number or something, but
And what about all the new kids on the block as far as offerings like Back East, DraftKings, and FanDuel? Will their menus be monumental because they usually are?
yeah, I mean, they've got a decent amount up. I mean, I was just actually looking at DraftKings, and they have a 3-player thing where you can bet on 3 guys that'll retire by February 20th.
Wow.
So that was cool. It's like Terrell Suggs plus 150, McCoy $3, and Manuel Sanders at like 7 to 1.
Wow.
Hold on, wait. This doesn't have to do with the Super Bowl. This
Yeah.
is just
Well, you're betting on one of those players that this is going to be their last,
The last game.
this is out of
Super Bowl,
control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
that's-
the stuff
yeah.
they do in some of those books is really
That's
astonishing,
Actually
comparable
incredible. Suggs,
I- well,
Suggs
I-
might be on his way
I'm-
out.
Like I am like the most like non-old school person that I think most people would meet, and I am very old school about the Nevada style of things. I'm very anti taking bets on anything that's not done on a field. I think it's ridiculous that I could know that LaShawn McCoy is going to retire after the game and just keep going there and betting $50, $50,
right.
$50.
If somebody's
It's
connected
ridiculous.
to his agent or
Yeah. We
somebody,
shouldn't take.
yeah.
We should not take bets on stuff like that. We shouldn't
Yeah.
take bets on the Oscars. We shouldn't take bets on any of that stuff.
Right.
In my opinion. I mean,
You got the NFL draft coming up too on your end,
yeah,
so
it's just,
none of that's on the field, by the way. That's all
We're
on,
all
on the,
leaving
that's on the
town.
stage.
Can we?
You want to
That's-
leave?
I don't.
we
wanna
could
be
go.
here.
We can.
Yeah,
we can leave, man. I don't know.
They're gonna close the strip. They're gonna close everything. They're gonna bring the guys in on the boats, and
Your boats are coming in.
and
that's going to be a second round move, right? That can't be the first round.
It has to be the first round.
I heard the main stage is back on the
by the link.
by the link.
the
Ah,
Yeah.
okay, all right,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
I'm like,
How
they're
is
not.
that-
They're not.
That's-
doing
that's
this
the
to
cheesy
Joe
move for
Burrow,
them.
are they?
I don't know.
Putting him
Why
on a
would they
boat?
not put the first guys on the boat?
Then the tweets came out that we should throw Goodell over the side of the boat.
Yeah. When we knew that was going to happen. Like anything going into the water as far as jokes was going to happen no matter what. That's just simple and plain.
Yeah.
Fans would jump in the water. Me.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
you come from a series at the Long Bar, you may go for a dive.
Holy shit. Hold on, let's take a step back.
Do you have a prop?
Yes.
Do you have a prop that you like?
He processed it.
I did. No, it's funny. The Raheem Mostert over yards was my favorite. I think he's, with the Tevin Coleman being out. I don't know.
Is
The
he out?
Chief.
Officially?
I don't know if he's for sure out, but I mean, he's going to be limited for the most part.
Yeah, I think it's more gamemanship. Guy separated his shoulder 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
How
it
effective
doesn't
could he
seem
possibly
like,
be?
yeah, but Mostert seems like he's doing well. I think they're going to still continue to be, locked in on the ground. I think the number might be done. I don't know, 72.5, I think it opened at.
Yeah.
Might be at 74.5 now.
What
but,
are his odds for MVP?
Ooh, I think
8-1, 7-1.
Okay.
It's
Is
kind of
that
what
it?
I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who I feel like people should be betting Sherman to win the MVP. Do you think that like
They are.
Are they? Are
They
you
are
smart?
with
They're not
us,
betting.
yeah.
They are not
You
betting.
should see Dave's face when he said that.
They are.
It's like,
No, I mean,
He's
like,
gonna win that
How many
shit.
defensive
Wow.
MVPs?
I don't know how he's gonna do it, but I swear to God, somehow he's gonna end up winning
think
it.
so?
I just don't want to hear him like saying like I told like he's gonna be coming through on the mic. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, come on, bro, like don't do this now. Don't. Oh, it's gonna crush me. And anyway, but the most over yards, and then a lot of sharp players are playing under in Deebo Samuel rushing yards. I don't know if you guys have seen that coming in.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if obviously they're gonna be could be handing it off to him, but
I got an over bet on that.
did you really?
Yeah.
12.5, 13.5?
That sounds right. 12.5.
I think a lot of it was like from 15 down for us. Yeah.
Oh, what a,
So- oh, yeah,
what, what a
was it-
shocker.
Is that a big
Yeah.
deal?
No, I mean, you said a mouthful. The business, not just the props. This is just the, shining light on it. The business has become that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a lot,
to
I
a
mean,
degree.
It's a lot
I
of
don't
laying
know.
and taking and a
Well,
lot of
there is-
scalping and a
Yeah,
lot.
that is happening. There's no question.
If they're not doing that, then they're stealing other
I'm
people's
just saying
plays.
this is
other
like
plays are getting lifted.
this is like 70% of the prop handle.
handle.
Is just back and forths. It's not real bets. So,
Yep.
are there huge scalp opportunities, or have they been all flushed
that's
out?
why those guys are in
Oh,
line
yeah.
the second they release them because
Yeah.
they know.
There's
that
scalp
there's gonna be scalp
opportunities from the
opportunities.
beginning of the line to the
Yeah.
back of the line.
And they're good at mathematics.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. I just wrote a couple down. Longest touchdown, 47.5. These teams don't give up big touchdowns. I like the under. It's -110, leaning that. I got Garoppolo rushing yards, 3.5. How in the fuck is he going to get 3.5 rushing yards? I mean, he don't run. He don't look to run.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't let him run. I mean, I don't think he's getting 3. I don't think he's getting any rushing yards, but I would bet under 3.5 rushing yards. Again, that's one of those ones that under's a small
Plus, if he
favorite.
wins, you might need 7 in the game because he's going to take all the knees.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
you're probably good.
So, yeah, I don't know. It seems like the numbers telling you a story, and it's to play under.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get all over bets on how can he
You
not
mean
only
he only
have
has to have
3.5
4 yards?
Yeah, that's
rushing?
it. Yep. And he'll have 2. And then
It's gonna have negative like 5 yards.
I don't know. You've been making the rounds on all these different shows this week. Are you doing any shows this week?
I'm assuming that
just-
I'm gonna get caught up in a couple.
Okay.
So
I've
that's
done
just
a
it.
couple myself, got a couple more. Doing a Wager Pager podcast. Those guys do a great job. Brock and Chris are they're probably gonna call you as well. I'm gonna try to forward your numbers. They're taking Super Bowl picks and stuff. So if you're available,
Oh
you can get there.
man,
But
I can't
they're good.
wait.
They do a good East Coast thing, and we do a West Coast thing. At one point, maybe we'll.
I'm
do
quitting
a
all
joint.
media
No.
starting with this show.
This is
Nice.
Ryan.
That's
He's
it,
talking about
you're
quitting right
done.
now. Fucking
But-
resignation immediate.
But between all the shows,
Filthy.
they ask about the props.
Right.
And I did one with JVT on Sunday on VSiN, and he said he wants to bet, will Kittle have a rushing attempt? He wants to bet the yes, plus 350.
He's gotten some carries through the season.
5.
I mean, some. Yeah, some. Yeah, I don't.
So
I don't know
he's
if a
got
few
5.
or some was the right word.
qualifies.
He ain't getting a goddamn carry. I would bet the no and let you move it and bet it again. I don't think Kittle's. I told him that on the air. He started laughing. I'm like, no, I'm serious. You can bet the yes with me. I'll give you.
He's gonna get mad when he gets that carry, but then throws it. He's gonna chuck that son of a bitch. No man, watch. That's gonna be sick, man.
Or he's going to get holding.
Oh yeah, bring it back.
Bring it back. That's the only
Bring
carry
it
he's going
back.
to get. in the
That's
whole
it.
game, so
Oh
it doesn't
man.
count.
In one that Dr. Greg, who was in studio with us last week and did a great job, talked about, and we've bet in the past, will the Niners score first or punt first? And will the Chiefs score first or punt first? Scoring first means you got to pretty much take the opening drive down and score. And score means field goal or touchdown.
Yep.
Do you know what the price is for that? Have you looked at that?
I actually
just
have.
curious.
I don't think I have, or I'm not as familiar with it.
What do you think the price should be?
What was it again?
Score first
Wasn't
or
listening
punt
to the
first?
show.
Each team. That's all right.
I don't
Welcome in.
know.
Don't cheat.
I don't like it. I don't like either side of that.
But what would the price be? Just thinking out loud. I mean, like, is one side favored over the other? Take the opening drive down and score, or punt first?
I would think the Niners
Essentially.
are a very tiny favorite to score first, just the way they scheme.
Right.
Chiefs probably a tiny dog to punt first because of the defense they're going against. That'd be my guess.
They're both favored to score first.
Okay.
It seems strange to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd always take the
I think the
defense
punt-
being on top of the game plan on the first drive, and then them adjusting and then figuring out what the Niners are doing.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the Niners have scored first both games in the playoffs.
that's what I was thinking. I mean, the Chiefs have started slower, so I
Yeah.
mean, I guess that makes a little bit more sense. But
Just something to look at. Those are mine. I mean, all the ones I wrote down are pretty much minus 110.
Niners
or
to
minus
punt
120.
first might be something.
Might be something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
3 runs and out.
Oh man,
Sorry.
2 runs and an incomplete pass.
if they do 3 consecutive
Well-
runs, they'll be at the 20 going in.
I mean, but
Well-
like for newbies and stuff, like you can bet on everything. I mean, you can bet that Jimmy G's first pass will be incomplete or complete.
Yeah,
You can bet everything.
yeah.
So
First
if you're
rush for
thinking about
Damian
it,
Williams is 4.5 yards.
Yes,
yeah.
it's all there.
And all this adds credence to what my bet will be on the game. I'll share later. But
Sure. Yeah, no, 100%.
Um,
They got George Kittle. His first reception's like over 10.5 yards. Did you see that?
under.
Yeah, it's got right. I mean, what's he
Under.
gonna do? Is
Yeah, it's
It's
a
a
dink
20
and dunk.
catch a 25-yard pass? I mean,
I don't know. Like, yeah, longest completions. There's so many things to dive in, and like I really, honestly, am just starting it now.
gonna take a
Um,
2-yard screen for 60 yards. You already know how it plays.
Right,
yeah,
yeah,
it fucking
Right.
pain.
Oh yeah,
dog.
yeah. Right from the sideline. It's a backwards pass.
Yeah.
and he rips it off for
Just-
35.
Oh my god,
Easy,
he's at the
done,
2-yard
done. Yeah,
line. I'm like,
easy.
well, this is ridiculous.
You'll be yelling, yeah, no,
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 somebody-
yeah, push him out.
So I know before we get to take a minute, I just wanted to see, and you don't have to if you don't want to, because I know, like you talked about, you don't like the side in the game, you don't like the game. That's fine, but people want to hear what we like in the game. So I'll start. I've been giving out a play to lose every week in the playoffs. This has been the theme.
Wait, did the lose?
I
Did he,
picked the Vikings.
Packers, he took
Didn't
the Packers
cover.
down.
I took the Packers.
all right.
So you know what
Eagles
I'm coming
against
with.
the Seahawks.
We're coming with the.
Shit, man.
No, we're coming with the Chiefs.
Oh yes.
We got to take the Chiefs in this game because we know what's going to happen. So I'm going to give you that right now. As far as the score, I'm thinking it's going to fall right around the total. I'm thinking 27-24, 31-23. Those are the numbers that I've been thinking about and dreaming about and coming up with. So take that for what it's worth. That's under the current number, both of those scores, but it's going to be close. I think the first one to 30 wins this game, and I think they can get there. But as far as the bankroll manager play that we're going to give out for the Super Bowl, I'm giving out the Chiefs -1 to not get there.
This is incredible. That's the best way to start it off.
I'm thinking about my first Super Bowl as I came out as a fan was Niners, Chargers.
Yep.
And I had a lot of hate in the Chargers. Still, to this day, that Stan Humphries pissed me off. Neil O'Donnell should have completed that pass. It's all over. This week, that's my play. Saving you for last. I'll go to you. Side total.
Yes, I have a play.
What do you got?
And it will be one of the Howard Barish Weekend for Winners, which is 7-1,
Smoking.
2020. So thanks for your support. But
Did anybody get back to you, by the way, from last week? Anybody tell you to fuck off or get back to you? Either way.
No, they're still ignoring me.
Still fucking
Yeah,
ignore.
yeah. Staying right in character. These anyway. And I do send a lot of emails every day and
And
text.
pick winners. Nobody gives a shit, and they won't even acknowledge you. It's unbelievable.
He's 7-1. Fuck you.
A fuck you would be nice.
Yeah,
They don't even do that.
The calls will
Yeah.
come when the losers start coming. So
of course.
Yeah.
just
Of
wait
course.
till then. Yeah, it's the only way I
Everyone's
know.
quiet.
I don't know any other way.
Because they're not 7-1.
I seen it.
I
I lived it.
have not wavered from this thought, and I haven't really sliced and diced and analyzed it too much. It's just a feel, as many of my plays are, and it's under in the first half. I think that the Chiefs are slow starters. They have been in the last 2 games. Yes, they have come on large in the second quarters, but those were against the Titans and Texans defenses. This is a little different, and I think the Niners will try to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sidelines as best as they can and just try to grind and get first downs, kick a field goal, and just try to hold on. And I think the first half will be a chess match,
Best number is 27.
like it under 27.
There's some juice now in a lot of places on that, but under 27 is good. Okay.
Yeah, love a 14-10, and then they can do what they want in the second half, and I can eat.
There
That's
you
it.
go.
And I can eat. That's great.
Anything?
As Dave said, I don't really like a side or a total in this game. So I'm going to approach something from a value perspective. If the Niners win the game, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to win MVP because they want to give it to quarterbacks. So I say bet him to win MVP. I think you can get like plus 220, 250 out there, maybe even 3-1. You're not getting that on the money line, so I feel like that's the angle.
I can't see how girls like him. He's
I
just
like-
not very good looking.
I like that angle.
That
That was a great, yeah. I
if
think
it's
that's right.
not
I
Jimmy
think-
G, who is it? That's what I've been asked. I'm like, listen, I don't think there's a guy on the
Mostert
Niners.
still has to have that
A monster
3
game.
touchdown game, and they have to all be rushing, and Jimmy has to throw less than 1 touchdown pass, or actually less than 2.
James White basically won that Falcons
Or-
game against the Patriots, and
right.
he still
Did he
didn't win
win
the
MVP?
goddamn MVP.
Exactly.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Could Bosa win the MVP?
I think it's
That's
a possibility.
the
ha-
sexy
yeah, I-
pick.
Yeah, exactly. But he'd have
And-
to have a monster game. You
3
look
or
up
4
what
sacks
Von
and-
Miller did. He had 2 forced fumbles. He had three sacks and then I think 6 tackles.
Yeah.
And Peyton Manning had a terrible statistic game.
Right.
So
And
you
they
can't give it to him.
So
Yeah.
the stars have to align, essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
For a defensive player to win, they really do. If it's 24-24 and 3 minutes left and Richard Sherman picks off the ball and runs it back for a touchdown, then he's going to win MVP.
Watch.
It's like that type of a thing.
Right.
Like that's how they win those awards, unless the quarterbacks fall on their face. So I expect 23 for 30 out of Jimmy G for little over 200, 2 touchdowns. He just nicely gets the MVP.
You think
thanks
he's
to his defense?
Yeah, he's probably gonna be throwing the ball more. I mean, I guess.
Enough.
Yeah.
I think. I still think, to your point, I think the Mostert thing is going to be their game plan. They're going to want to run the ball, slow the clock down. To Howard's thing about the first half, because why would you want the Chiefs' offense on the field?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, just keep landing a couple 6-yard plays. Take your time. Get into the groove of the game. Keep them off the field.
Be happy to grab 3 if you grab 3 points.
Do any of
Yeah.
you remember the first half Falcons-Patriots? It was a lot of play action.
Mm.
It was a lot. I mean, they ran, but they did a lot of good things. I can't remember specifically. I'd have to go back and watch it, but I'm expecting that
Mm.
because, the Chiefs, everyone knows.
Play action's
run
great though
defense
when
is
you got
just-
Matt Ryan throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, that's
Jimmy
why.
G, you
Jimmy
gotta
G's the
kinda-
question.
yeah.
That's what's going to determine this game, and you're going to hear about it. If you haven't heard about it the first week, you're going to hear about it the second week. Can Jimmy G win the game?
Mm.
We'll find out.
Or you just
He won't have to.
you don't have
That's my
confidence
thing.
in his arm at all?
It's not that. I just feel like he's one of those guys that just puts the ball in too much danger. And I mean, you saw it. I mean, how many passes did he have last week? Shanahan knows what he's dealing with here. Like, he's not,
It's all
he's-
game management.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's a smart coach, man. So can he come out and blast him for 300? Sure. Other quarterbacks have this year. It's possible, but I just don't think it's likely.
Mo,
Man.
Your brain or your heart going to speak?
we've been
that's
on
a good
Niners
question,
for
actually.
anyone new to the show listening. Mo is a Niners fan, has been long time. Been talking about the Niners. We talked about them every week, continuing to just win games. Jimmy G, the whole deal. Called it last year when they got him, and he got hurt. Everything. This is your shot.
Yeah.
What do you like?
I don't know. I'm gonna change my mind like 4 more times before Sunday. So
Always good for the listeners.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
No,
Now
100%.
follow the show at GT.
I'm being
Cash
honest. I
Consider.
mean, hey, man, you know,
at He These Takes.
yeah.
What do
know.
you got right now? Tuesday on the show. What are you gonna give everybody?
I basically, went against like the grain, in my own thoughts with the Burrow thing, saying that betting against him would be, suicide, and it was. And that's how I feel about Mahomes. I felt about this. I think I talked about it on the last show, even personally with each other. But it's it's so tough to bet against a team like the Chiefs, the team that we agreed on for the whole time. I don't think I've ever been so pessimistic about a Niner season until this year alone. So people they might hate me for being a fan of the Niners, but I don't know. It's I think I've already explained that the defense usually comes up in the Super Bowl big, and I don't think the Niners have looked better than this in years. Since Patrick Willis and those guys were there. I said I liked the Niners last time when Dr. Greg was on, and I'm sticking with it, sticking with the Niners. So
Okay.
I would say like an easy score in my opinion would be like 30-24. 7-point game, like either way.
What's the total in the game?
54.5.
Okay.
Yeah, simple.
30 to 24 is a 6-point game, just for the record.
31-24, my
Oh,
bad.
okay,
Yeah, my bad.
31-24.
Yeah, I
All
must
right,
I either misspoke or I don't know anything about anything. But yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of steering towards the Niners. I fucking did the same shit with Burrow, man. Like, I know Mahomes I don't know. I feel like the Niners with Shanahan and the way they got things going, I think they'll figure out some way to keep him off the field enough. I guess the Garoppolo thing's big, but that just seems like a distraction. I don't think that's real. I don't know. I mean, he's got the team trusts him enough to get him all the way here. I mean, it's really going to be based on the defense if they're going to win this game or not Garoppolo. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, one more real quick
Yeah.
that I forgot to mention.
Sherman's going to win the MVP, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's going to win that shit.
LeBron
Yeah.
James plus a half against points against Patrick Mahomes' completions is a lock. If you don't think LeBron's going to try to drop 50 on Sunday,
Who are they playing?
the Kings.
Well,
At
don't
home?
you?
It's at Sacramento.
Sacramento.
It's one of those night games.
Hey, are the
It
Lakers
starts at 4, I think, right after, right?
I don't think so.
No?
I think
all
it's
the games
7
are
o'clock.
early.
are the
Yeah.
Lakers not a lock?
7 in the morning?
Night.
Oh, it's after the Super Bowl?
No.
No, there's no way in the world. Cannot be.
No.
Can it be?
No.
I don't
was
know.
just looking
Regardless,
I was just looking at.
he's going to smash. He's going to score a lot
Wait,
of
no.
points.
Are the Lakers not a lock?
What?
The Lakers.
I don't care about that. I'm saying LeBron's points
Oh
is going to
my
be a lot
God.
more than Chiefs.
If he's going for
The night
50, we
before.
got to bet the Lake Show. I feel like it's correlated. That's a correlated play.
He plays the night before.
Oh, night before. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when you have 50 from LeBron or higher, you're not going to worry about Patrick Mahomes' completions.
That's for
Agreed.
sure.
I knew
Oh,
it was
that
at night.
sounds
It's just
good, yeah.
Saturday night.
It's Saturday.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw 7 o'clock
Wow.
start.
All right.
Yeah.
That's-
I thought it was one of those Sunday early morning games before the Super Bowl that they do sometimes.
They
What's
wouldn't
the
do that in
price
California.
on that,
I'm going to be
AB?
blasting college hoops
Minus
too
110?
before the
110.
before the Super Bowl starts. College hoops will be getting fired on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. No. I'm thinking may have to load up some apps. That actually sounds like a plan.
That's
Yeah,
the move.
LeBron, he's posting.
I thought you were talking
he
about firing on
averages
college hoops.
35.
You talking about LeBron?
No, I can't talk about college.
Sorry
hoops.
about that.
No.
My
it's,
bad.
It's Saturday.
I was so
last
off.
week. Saturday. This past
Damn it.
Saturday was unbelievable in the book for college basketball. That was the welcome to the rest of the fucking February. Is that Saturday? That was a long day. There was so many fucking games, and we were chasing the numbers, and they were chasing. It was brutal. For those of you guys that like it, there's a lot of games to pick from, and yeah, there's a lot of gems to find. But I prefer the schedule to look like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 5 games,
Yeah.
and 3 of them were big schools, and it was much easier to look at and manage.
Iowa's team.
Extra games are still there.
You can have
Fucking
them.
pain, man.
What is it? What is this? The game number? 6 digits or 5?
Yeah, 6
Uh,
digits.
six-digit
Look,
games.
the
Six-digit
six-digit
games.
bangers. Yeah,
Yeah,
six-digit
bangers. Yeah.
God damn it!
Alcorn States of the world.
All right,
Jeez.
that's
We got a guy that's so hot on Houston Baptist right now.
Oh, yeah?
Both
yeah.
totals and side.
Of course.
Incredible. He's dialed in.
It might be
Watch
making
out.
it. Could be a tournament team.
the way to
Could
do
make
it.
a run.
can't even believe this just was said in the room.
So the
I know. I
See,
know.
the ACC might be a three-bid conference.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man, is that real?
Yeah,
That is real.
it is.
Louisville, Duke, and Florida State.
And that's
it's
It's
right.
so good when he
Exactly.
does it.
And folks out there, when we drone on about college basketball, Alan Berg just sinks in a seat.
As he should.
This is impressive news.
Let me know when March gets here, please.
Oh yeah. No, you will be talking then,
Yeah.
or you'll be in Hawaii.
We're
One of
only
the
a month
two.
Ooh,
away.
yeah, that's a move. Do that instead.
I feel that.
That's Bankroll Managers. That's our picks. That's what we're gonna go with for now on the show.
I got to stick with the Niners.
You got it
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And I'm on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So you
It's
know
okay.
what that means. This
is good.
It's okay. It's
Holmes for 500.
No, man. That's what I'm gonna be saying.
good.
Come up
LeBron
with, like, one of
points
those, like,
Oh,
is the play.
jackets.
Actually, you're gonna have to go check that after the show.
You might have more dunks than completions.
I believe that. That should be a problem.
All right, let's wrap things up with take a minute, and you don't have to talk about anything you want, but it's a popular segment, and it gets a lot of retweets, it gets a lot of texts, so it's a fun thing, but you don't have to do it. You can say whatever you want. Some other shows have kind of taken it and tweaked it a little bit, which is kind of cool, which is neat. So
That's dope.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I got you first on the card today. The glasses are coming on. He has a little script. Are you ready to go?
Give it a whirl.
All right. Ready in 3, 2, 1.
Staying with the prop theme that has been the levity of this show after talking about the other stuff. Many folks out there will bet props, especially groups of guys and gals when they go to a casino or sportsbook property, not only in Las Vegas anymore, but in many other states. And other than those that are trying to get some sort of mathematical edge, and the folks we discussed before, it's mainly for fun, and it's for bragging rights. And the folks at Merriam-Webster said that the definition of an outcome is the way an event turns out, a consequence, a result, an end result. Well, these outcomes are either going to make you look brilliant or look like a clown. So just have fun with it the best you can. And it reminds me of lyrics in a song. And the lyrics are more about a relationship between a man and a woman. But I relate it to the props and this whole exercise that everybody will go through this weekend. I may run over. Apologize.
No, I thought it was perfect timing, like that he said
Okay.
that.
No, that was good.
You'll never find your gold on a sandy beach. You'll never drill for oil on a city street. I know you're looking for a ruby in a mountain of rocks, but there ain't no Coupe de Ville hiding at the bottom of a Cracker Jack box. Marvin Lee Aday, a.k.a. Meatloaf. Have fun with Super Bowl. Enjoy. Take care.
All right.
My
That,
man Meatloaf.
That was strong.
No.
And for those of you that didn't hear Reynolds, that was a bat out of hell.
And also, if you hit 2 out of 3 props, it ain't bad.
No? All right. 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. Has been like a spectacle in my life since like 9th grade.
I'm gonna shoot for
That's a
1
whole
out of
different
3.
story. Just it's one, yeah. No, that's it. I
Is
had
it
no
really-
jokes. That was the joke. Yeah.
Oh, I
No,
thought you were
man.
back talking about a homegirl on 2 out of 3.
No. I can't do it anymore. I can't. Oh, is it my time? Is it my time?
Batter up.
It's your up.
I don't. Oh my.
But, I mean,
Perfect on
you
that,
ready?
I guess.
Do
I
you
hate
need a
all of you
moment?
guys.
I mean, it's going to be
No,
quick.
okay, here we go.
All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
First off, basketball will never be the same ever after that tragedy. Not to touch on it, as much as I already have, but yeah, I don't know. I just want to stay motivated more than I ever have. Like, I don't know if that's just like on a regular day-to-day basis or just when like, when people are counting on me, but I don't know. It's something that I thought of a lot, getting here early, which no one even cared about.
I care.
Nobody cared. I was like, oh, he's here. He's back. But, Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Making people laugh like this and coming by and doing stuff like that, it's a big deal to me. So that's basically my minute.
Excellent. He's out. That was Mo. We'll summarize. We'll give all the Twitter handles here at the end. AB, you got anything this week?
Yeah, I'm going to use a quick thing from the words of Kobe Bryant.
Okay. Ready?
We should all do this. Go ahead.
2, 1, go.
Kobe said that he wanted to squeeze the juice out of the orange of life. And I think that everyone should attempt to do that. That's why I work really hard at everything I'm trying to do. And, that's it, man. That's all we got. We got one orange to use, and let's do it. So
I like it.
Excellent.
Yes.
Very well said.
That's real.
I will go right now. My take a minute is just to say take a minute for each other. And tell people in your life that they're special. And it's not, do it every day, not because someone died in a tragic accident, because you just never know. I can't stop thinking about those families that aren't coming home. And I'm lucky enough in my life, I live in a very, female-centric environment. I live in an ocean of estrogen, but they have taught me and continue to teach me stuff every day. And we say, I love you every day. And we hug each other every day. And when we don't now, it means a little bit more. So just take the time. We do take a minute. Take a minute. Send a text. Call each other. Send a meal or set up time to have lunch, whatever it is, because the time is precious. It's the most perishable commodity we have. So on that note, that's my minute. Today is January 28th. It is my 6-year-old Kendall birthday today.
Hey, Kendall.
And
Happy birthday.
Last week, she celebrated the breaking through of her 6-year molars, and today is her birthday. Big plans, big dinner tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know. We make a tradition that whoever's birthday it is gets to pick wherever they go. So we'll see where it ends up. I don't know. I think the favorite is Grimaldi's. She likes good pizza. So Grimaldi's.
It's my fraternity brother.
Incredible.
Yeah?
Guy that started that company.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I like that. Maybe we could talk to him about a sponsor.
Joey.
I love
Hey,
Grimaldi's.
Joey in Phoenix. You
Yeah.
listening?
Yeah. We'll come down and do a show from there, or have you on. But that's going to do it. I just wanted to give also a shout out to one of our super fans, Sean Alvarez. The guy's all over us. He retweets us stuff. He's coming to town.
NHC?
So, yeah, the big horse thing coming up.
It's the Super Bowl of horse handicapping.
Right. And there's going to be a lot of people in town. Reach out to us on the show, on the Twitter, on email Howard, whomever, and maybe, we can get together. Our first listener meetup, something like that. I don't know. We can come up with something, but, we just want to take a moment and thank you guys for growing the show. We've got a lot of new listeners. There's people all over the world listening to this, which is actually pretty scary when someone, there's someone listening in Australia, England, Spain. We picked up a listener, Alaska, Hawaii, all over. So thank you for listening. Enjoy the Super Bowl. If you're in a book, don't make the same mistakes that I made if you're a newbie. Just have some numbers, have cash. Grab the sheets before. What do you guys think? I recommend to people, come in. If you're coming in for the weekend, come in the book Friday and set up all your shit. Set up your apps. You make your deposits. You don't want to be having to get to the window Sunday.
Yeah,
right?
You're doomed.
You're doomed.
Yeah. You're absolutely doomed, man. There's no other way around
and
it.
the line is the line. And, you may get 10 cents to the worst of it, but you'll get your bet in.
Just get the app. What are you standing in lines for?
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Medieval.
At this point, the apps.
It's
it's true, though.
No,
And
it is.
in back east, you don't even have to. You can get the app without even going to the
Yeah.
book. So if you really want to just bet the game and go through the props at your leisure, get the app.
Yeah.
It's just that much easier. But for the experience, Super Bowl's awesome. we're doing big parties. You guys got parties going on? Do you know of?
I
You know,
mean,
have no
they're
idea.
Yeah, the downtown
They're-
event
yeah.
center's got a big
It's
party.
going to be insane.
Yeah, you could just walk
Yeah,
down there. It's
downtown.
free entry, so you know,
Okay.
it's a big deal.
So you guys got that.
yeah,
We've got at our properties. Don't go Sunday and ask for a seat. The seats are already taken.
good call.
Do not go Sunday and say, "Oh, why are all these seats reserved?" They're already reserved.
Yeah,
So don't make that mistake. But like they're all over town. Do your homework wherever you're going. I'm sure there's big parties in Indiana. I'm sure there's big parties in New Jersey. It's changing. This is going to really see what Vegas has to offer going forward. I'm interested to see the take back of where it all goes. But all right, before we get out of here with the Twitter handles and stuff, I just want to mention that we talk about the Gaming Today digital subscription. Yet we should also mention how it all got started. The Vintage Gaming Today print edition can be found in virtually every sportsbook in Nevada, as well as sportsbooks and casinos in 9 other states. You get award-winning content, analysis, stats, selections, gaming industry news, casino news, and more. From Oregon to Pennsylvania, it's Gaming Today in vintage print form. If your favorite book doesn't carry it, ask management to contact support@gamingtoday.com. All right, boys. I'm just going to go around the horn. That's it. Any last words before I give our handles and get out of here? Anything, HB?
Have a great time. Enjoy. Be careful to not eat too much or drink too much to make yourself sick. But some of you will do it anyway. We love
Still
you.
good advice. Yeah,
Don't go to the window drunk. Even and cash the tickets on Monday. If you got a stack of tickets, don't be the jerk off that I was and go up right after the game kicks and say, "Hey, can you check these?" Guy just worked 12 hours and I haven't checked the stats or nothing.
Props don't cash right away, by the way.
Exactly. Give the books an hour to grade them after.
At least 30 minutes.
At least 30 minutes. Yeah.
Tails never fails.
Yeah. That's probably be the choice.
True definition of gambling.
Should just be tails and tails and just no heads on there.
Whoa.
You like that?
Yeah.
All right. That's what I think.
What's the price?
I don't know. Minus 130 on both sides.
There you go.
You want that?
Mo booking the toss. Yeah. Anyone reach out to him.
No, we don't offer heads here.
Uh-oh.
It's a yes or no on the tails price.
It's
Or just a yes.
That's
It's
incredible.
no.
This could
Just
get
ye-
ugly.
Just yes.
All right, boys. The show at GT Cash Consider. Alan Berg at Percent Berg. Mo Toy Pearson. San Francisco 49ers.
We'll be celebrating soon.
At Heed These Takes on Twitter. Reynolds producing the show at I Am Reynolds 2305. Sorry we didn't get to the wrestling talk, but the stuff off the air was excellent.
Rest in peace, Rocky Johnson.
Yeah. That was HB.
Soul Patrol.
Howard Barish at Gaming Today News on Twitter. And I am Dave Sherapan at SportsBK Consig on Twitter. Guys, thanks for coming in today. I got to be honest, after Sunday and what happened, my thought was, I don't want to do the show this week. But because of you guys, I'm here. And I think we got some listeners that are in that same boat. So thank you guys for listening to the show. Good luck with the Super Bowl. We are next week.